Okay, this is the second question in the quad assignment. We've just proven that these two triangles are the same in every way. They're congruent. And that's important because it means those sides must be equal. All their sides must be equal and all their angles must match up. So we can use that. Now, they say the question is, prove EDFB is a parallelogram. We have to prove this. We can't say it is. We have to prove that EDFB is a parallelogram. See how I've made green lines in here? You have to look at what you're trying to prove is a parallelogram. Now, there are 6 different ways to prove a parallelogram. But one of the easiest ways is if you can show one pair of sides that's parallel and equal, then you've got it. You've got it. So before I write it all out, let's see how we're going to do that. Well, we've just proven the triangles are congruent. That means these sides match up because they're congruent triangles. ED must match up with FB because they're congruent triangles. Now we also know that angle E1 here and angle F1, or angle DEF and angle EFB, those angles right in there, they must be equal because they're perpendicular, or because of angles in a straight line. We could say they add up to 180, but we know they're both 90 degrees. Maybe it would be fine just to say we know they're equal because it's given. So, hey, if we know those angles are equal, then I think it makes these sides parallel because those angles are called alternate angles. Where I've written in E1 and F1, those are alternate angles, so that makes them parallel. Well, if these two sides, so those two angles right there, those two angles, E1 and that angle E1 and that angle, I'll put a little F1, they're equal. If they're equal, it makes them it makes those lines parallel because they're alternate angles. Well, that's it. Then we could say that EDFB is a parallelogram. So look at the order that I wrote this out. I said that E1 is equal to F1 because I'm looking at 90 degrees and angles in a straight line in the diagram, but I could just say because they're perpendicular, because it's given that they're 90 degrees. Then I could say DE is parallel to FB. Why? Because those are alternate angles and they're equal. Then I could say DE is equal to FB. Why? Because we proved those triangles in the end are the same in every way, so their sides must match up. Well, that's enough information to say that EDFB is a parallelogram. Why? Because you've got opposite sides that are parallel and they're equal. And that's one way to prove that a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, if I can show that they're parallel or equal. Now, there's other ways to do this probably, but I think this is one of the best ways. So I hope that helped.